Want to find out how I took this peacock from this black and white drawing to this multicolored sticker? Stick around. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Susan with Blue Vinyl Stickers, and today we will be creating this multicolored peacock sticker. So before we get started, I just want to let everybody know, as usual, this is the Silhouette Studio Business Edition of the software. You can do this with most versions of the software. My buttons might be in slightly different versions or places than yours are, but all the buttons do all the same thing. So let's go ahead and get started. We are going to use this black and white JPEG picture. Now here is the one that I have already done that you have seen on the front of the book here. I wanted to have it here just for reference so everybody could see exactly what our goal is going to be. So I want to trace this because this is just a picture. I can print this in black and white, and that's what you'd have. You would have a black and white printed picture of a peacock. And that's not what we're after. We are after a sticker file. So I'm going to come over here to the trace panel, open it up, and click Select Trace. And we're going to select the trace area. Just draw a great big old box around it. Doesn't have to be right exact, just a big box around the edge. Unclick, and there we go. Once it has chosen, or once it sees the image, it turns yellow. Then you click Trace. Once it turns black again and puts red outlines around it, there you go. That's the image that we're going to be working with today. I'm going to take this and get rid of it, put it over here on a different screen. I'll come back to that later. And right now we are going to clean up the image a little bit. So I need to release the compound path. Now you're saying to yourself, what do you mean clean up the image a little bit? It looks perfectly fine. It does look perfectly fine. But watch what happens. I'm going to highlight everything now that they are all individual pieces. And I am going to select the Edit Points tool. Every one of those black dots is someplace that your machine will stop at when it's cutting. It also creates a jagged line in points. So let's go ahead and zoom in, and I will show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, we're going to work on this area right here, or just focus on this area right here. And as you see, it's make it closer in. As you see, this is not a straight line. So it looked like a straight line from far away, but this will actually be, this is actually your cut line. And you see the cut line is not smooth. We want a nice smooth line. So I am going to do a Control-A, select everything, clicked on the edit points, and then I'm going to come up here to the Simplify tool. And I'm just going to click on the S and watch what happens to these edit points. They go away. And as you see, what happened is it made that line nice and straight. So instead of going in here and deleting each one by hand, you click on the Simplify tool and it does it for you. Love the Simplify tool. So now that we have our design all nice and cleaned up, we want to make sure that there are no extra little points anywhere. So click and highlight. Go around your design and look and make sure there are not any little teeny square boxes. Usually if there's a little teeny square box, you need to delete it because that is a point that actually will not cut. So you just go ahead and delete it. But I'm fine on this one. And now we are going to go ahead and color in our peacock. And I'll do a couple of them here and show you exactly what I've done, and then we will go ahead and get rid of him and come over here to this one. So you don't have to watch me color in every one. The way to do this is click on the outline. Now remember, they're all individuals. So we're going to click on the outline, come up here to our color tool, and we are going to click, I believe it was this one. Close enough. And then same thing, this one. And I'm going to highlight these two and this one. But they're all different. Okay, I want them all the same. So I'm going to click on this one, hold down my Shift key, click on this one, click on this one, click on this one, and color them all the same. There we go. Now it looks like this one was here, but what color did I choose? Well, I know it's not that one, so I'm going to use my eyedropper and come over here and click on it. I want the little feathers up here to be all blue, but when I did that, it also selected here. See, if whatever it puts a box around, that's what it'll choose as a color. So click on it, hold down your Shift key. These two were too close together. The boxes are too close together, so I couldn't separate them. And again, there we go. Okay. So I want to make this, oh, I think it was a pink. There we go. And then I will color in the rest of these, doing the same thing. I want this, and then select, and select, and select, and then choose the color that I want. Okay, and I will do that through this whole peacock. All right, and there you go. Now I did change the colors on a couple of the other ones just because I could. And so now we are going to go ahead and work with this guy right here. Now I do want to make a couple of changes. I want to move this guy up a little bit and over, makes it a little bit better. And I want to take this and I want to move it just slightly. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this guy because I don't need him anymore. He has served his purpose, and get rid of him. Now, a lot of people have been saying, well, how in the heck do I get this to cut as a sticker and not have the machine go in and cut every individual piece? Because what happened is this: if I send this over to my machine to cut, every red line you see is where the machine will cut. And I want this to cut as one great big sticker after I've printed it. So say I've sent this through the printer, and I'll show you some settings here in just a little bit to show you how that's done. What I want to do is this: highlight everything, right mouse click and say group. If you say make compound path, it will turn everything the same color. Watch. And we don't want to do that. That just defeats the purpose of what we just did. So I want to just say group. So I'm going to highlight everything, right mouse click and say group. Come up here to my offset window, click once, and then I want an external offset, which it already puts on here. And the setting that they have here is 0.125, and I find that pretty good for most everything that I am doing sticker offset for. I'm going to click apply and give it a chance to work. And now I have this. And instead of going in here and unclicking or deleting everything, right mouse click and release the compound path. Take the outside ring and set it over. Grab all this, highlight it, hit your delete key. Now, something that I did see is that there is a right here. It goes up. This will drive you nuts in weeding or anything like that. So we're going to come in a little bit. we're going to click on the outline and then our edit point tool. And we are going to come up to this one and we're going to say delete. And I think that will be enough. Yeah, that'll be enough. So it won't come up here and into that. Now, if you wanted to, you could actually make that a little bit shorter of a point, but I think for right now, that's fine. I'm going to highlight these both. Come over here to our transform window. We're going to click center to page and center to each other. And that will put the design right in the middle of the outline. Okay, it puts it right in the middle of the outline. So highlight it, center on each other. Now, if I send this to the machine, it will cut everything that's red. So now it will go in and it will cut not only the outline, but it'll cut everything that's in the inside. And you're going to be standing there going, no! This is how you fix this. You come in here and you set this aside and you highlight these and you set them to no color. Put this back together, center on each other. And when you say send, and then choose line, you have your choice of no color, which means now that I took the color out, anything that's black will cut and anything that's red will cut. But we don't want the inside to cut, so just turn it off and we just have the outside that will cut. So after you send this to the printer, let me go ahead and we're going to group this together. We are going to set up a page that says the grids, type 1. We want to make the thickness as big as it'll go, the inset as big as it'll go. Actually, let me change that. We want to go here to the page size and we want to select current printer because I don't know of any printer that will print in 12 by 12. So my orientation, I always go to portrait, which means I need to change the size of my design. So grab the handle, drag it down to the size you want, and look at your measurements. And I know the size of my book is only a 5-inch book. So I want to make it about 4.5. Okay, I can sit there and I can move this all day long and try to get to those. Or I just come back over here to my transform window, lock, the width, I want it 4.5. Bingo. Okay. Now we're going to come back over here to the page setup. I'm going to put her right there. And then I am going to send her to the printer. So we click File and then Print. And select your printer. Do whatever preferences you need and say Print. And this will come up, your window will come up, and it will send it over to your printer, and your printer will print it out for you. All right, and that's what it looks like when it is printed. Now, I'm going to send this over to my machine, and I am going to cut it. Like I said, I want to use line. Don't use simple, because if you do, it will cut everything that's here. So send it over to line and select just the red outline, and it will cut around the outside edges. All right, everybody, that is as easy as it gets to make a sticker. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below. And thanks for watching, everybody. Bye for now.